All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 28 of Hoop Chatter. It's your boy Art Morrison III here with Rob McPherson and Kevin Tarca, my co-hosts. And we're excited to bring another episode to you all. If you're looking at my pretty face, I am on YouTube right now with my boys. This is episode 3 on YouTube, meaning like you can actually physically see us on YouTube, not just a soundbite. So we're excited about that. So I got to keep pushing it and getting you guys to like, share, and subscribe all these YouTube videos and this YouTube channel. But more importantly, make sure you guys, share and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as Google Podcasts, so we can continue to grow this podcast. This is episode 29. We got a whole 150 freaking followers on IG.
Let's go. Insert.
All right, we're pumped up. We're vets in the game. So listen, everyone, as we're here, I wanted to, in front of all of you, ask my boys a serious question. So guys, listen, I have been for 2 months during the coronavirus pandemic conducting virtual basketball training with over 100 kids 3 times a week, literally from my laptop and phone. It went way better than I thought it was going to go. I thought it was kind of corny at first, but I knew I needed to do it, not only to sustain business, because we only charge like between $3.50 and $5 for each session. So it wasn't really the money thing, but to keep everyone engaged and to get myself experience in the online space, since we literally could not be in person. I tried it out. I loved it. It was successful. Got over 100 registrations, all that good stuff. I wanted to ask you guys something. As we go back into normality and in-person business and basketball and everything, where do you guys see this kind of training, virtual, right? Where do you see it headed? Is it here to stay? Is it a fad? How do you guys maybe plan on implementing it more in your respective fields? I know we had a guest 2 episodes ago, my boy Sean Light, was talking about some of the things that he does as a strength and conditioning coach, as well as a coach of coaches with his platform and his virtual training and online training platforms. We talked about that in an episode. But Rob, you weren't here for that. And Tarka, we spoke briefly, but I want to kind of let everybody be a fly on the wall on this conversation. Where do you see virtual activity going as the world opens back up from this pandemic?
I think anybody worth their salt in terms of just business acumen is going to find a way to keep that incorporated. Just because you can reach so many more people without having to physically see them. Like, you only have 24 hours in a day. You only have so much time in a day to commute back and forth. Like, Art, you're in Somerville, New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you get a kid up in Caldwell, or you get a kid in the
Baltimore,
Bronx,
you know what I mean?
or Baltimore, or something like that, and you're not gonna be able to train them or see them regularly, but you can still work with them virtually, and they're still gonna come to you. You can still be a focus point in their life and help them grow as a basketball player.
Yeah.
So I think people are gonna keep that virtual training of some sort in their wheelhouse moving forward. But they're definitely going to get back in front of kids. There's nothing like getting in the gym and putting that sweat equity in one-on-one or in a group setting. But I think people will keep the virtual training going.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because like what we're going to do as we move forward is basically we're going to conduct our in-person trainings as usual, but now we're going to have, a virtual camera at the workout that I essentially coach to this person. So now it makes no difference to me. I'm still at the gym with the 50 kids I'm always at the gym at. But now some of those kids who got a taste of the virtual action, right? Or maybe one of our 25,000 followers on IG, or just like, man, let me drop this $5 to join this session. Or I think we charge like $40 a month. It comes to $3.50 per session. So it's really like worth, just hopping in one time. It happens to be a rainy day in Nebraska, and you follow us on IG, and you can get some training in your living room. You know what I mean?
So I got mixed feelings on that. First of all, for $3.50, I might work on my handle this weekend. So you might have a new sign up. I got mixed feelings on it. I mean, I think it's definitely opening some people's eyes to how you can conduct business. It also depends on the industry you're in. Like, without a question, it's, doing things virtually or working from home, let's say, it's always been a potentially more productive option for certain industries. That depends on the person that's doing the job. You know, like I'm the type of guy that I would be more effective waking up at 4 a.m. and working through 11 a.m. and I would get more done in one day at home in my own house on my own schedule than I would, you know, for a week in an office that doesn't have a good culture,
Right.
for example. But I also think that there's obviously certain industries that it can't be sustainable for the long term. And in addition to that, I think too many people are going to be like, oh man, we got to shift our entire business model online now. And they're going to kind of lose focus on what their product or service is. And then one year from now, when things come back, they're going to be like, oh wait, we don't need to put 100% of our business online. And then it's going to kind of get weird. I think that it's good that it's going to open up certain avenues for any sort of industry being able to be productive and efficient virtually, both with their sales force or, you know, their employees, and potentially making a sale or whatever service they got to do. But at the same time, I'm not going fully away from in-person training, in-person sales meetings, in-person business.
Now, from a sports perspective, right? Like, so for example, everyone was stuck inside. So like I was doing workouts out of like a garage space, and so were all the kids. But like as things open up, the goal is like, all right, I'm actually on the court and I'm going to be training with a basket. So in order for you to get the most out of our training, you're going to need a basket too, right? And things like that. So I think that makes me feel a little better about it, because I hated the idea, bro. I was like, I'm about to be in my office dribbling, breathing all hard on the microphone, no noise, no music, mad awkward. But it turned out, and maybe I'll share some video clips, you know, during this time or whatever, but it turned out that, kids were getting after it. They were drenched. They were enjoying it because they were in their comfort zone, right? Some of them turned their screen off so other kids couldn't join. So we had like some girls who were like maybe 8 or 9 years old who turned their screen off because there's also an 18-year-old or 16-year-old kid training, all doing the same stuff, but like they didn't want to be judged. So like there was that aspect that I thought was a perk, and I got a lot of good feedback on it. But what I'm saying is, now that we open the door to where they can be on a court in their driveway or whatever, as a parent, you might feel more comfortable and all those intangible stuff. But what I want to ask you guys as former athletes, right? And college athletes at a high level, right? Because everybody says former athlete. Do you feel these things are effective? I know my answer because I coached it and I found myself drenched sweat teaching the kids. So I kind of know where I'm at. But do you guys feel like it's actually effective? Like if you had a kid, would you pay $40 a month for your kid to train 3 times a week in the driveway with a trainer who may be known, but he's just across the country?
I mean, I think that's more on the parent, bro. Like, it's like if you got a parent that's like working, you know, a couple jobs, or just don't feel like driving after work, taking their kid to the gym, sitting there through it, picking them up. They're like, nah, I'll just pay the $40. You go down front. I'll watch you out front, you know, while I'm chilling at home after work.
Right.
You know, that parent's going to pay that money to do that. But as a kid who was fortunate enough to have the parents that put that time in to take me to and from, there's nothing like getting in that gym, man.
Well, I'm saying, what about additionally, right? Like, we're talking about substituting. The substitute period is over. What about like we practice 2 or 3 times a week, or I practice every day with my high school or middle school team, right? And then my dad paid for me to have lessons. Somebody comes to my house and trains me, or I go to the gym. Then there's open gym on Friday. But now on top of that, on Sundays or just whenever I feel like it, I can pay this small amount of money and maybe train with some kids across the country and really see
I like that.
What the competition is.
I like that. See that, and that's what I was kind of getting at as a additive, not replacing the physical in the gym work, but adding this on top on those off days where your team don't have practice, but you still want to get some work in. Yeah. Now you can do this on top of it. I like that.
Replace the PlayStation or the Fortnite.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's also going to be great and open up a door for all those intangible things about a coach that add value. I mean, again, it can't fully replace it because there's nothing like the actual experience in person. But you know, there are also other kids that can learn differently. You know, so like they don't need to have that up in your face type experience where they can still get better. But I'm talking about even off the, like outside just the skill set stuff like that, we just had that conversation, ball handling, shooting, form, all that stuff. What about like, you know, accountability, life coach stuff, you know, how important academics are, you know, mental health and wellness, all that stuff you can kind of incorporate into it. And it's not like a completely separate thing, because right now, if you're going to try and be, you know, a mental performance coach, or, you know, you're saying, okay, well, you know, as a parent, you're going to sign a kid up, you're going to go to basketball over there, and then you got to pick him up, you got to bring him to a mental performance coach, and it's still not quite there at that age where it's like, wait, I'm taking my son to like a psychiatrist, like a shrink, like what, is he okay? It's just like, it's not really there yet. So it's kind of a way,
bro, like me as a coach, like if I'm on a court, there's a bunch of kids, I'm coaching, all that good stuff. Yo, for me to take a kid one-on-one and have a mental health conversation or mental toughness conversation.
Yeah, it's not quite.
There's a level of there's a level of awkwardness there. When you put the screen between you, here's what I learned in the last two months. First of all, the kids
open up more.
Well, yeah, so like the kids are already loading up on screen time anyway. iPad all day. Like that, we thought we were bad as teenagers. Like this generation is crazy, right? So a lot of them enjoyed the virtual training more because it, like I said, it was like a game. It was like, okay, it's on my screen. So now it's like I'm interacting with my phone, like house party, like FaceTime, like going live on IG, like Snapchat. So now it's in their wheelhouse, A. And then B, there's one kid, I'm not gonna say his name, he's of Asian descent, undersized, very quiet, doesn't speak the language well. He plays on one of my teams and he does the virtual training. I opened up this week, we're allowed to do one-on-one training remotely at people's house. So I sent the email out, said, hey, everyone who got one-on-one virtually, I can come to your house now. Everyone else who doesn't have anything, you know, I can come to your house. And this mom reached out and said, hey, we want to get some more lessons, but we want to do it, we want to continue virtually. Not because it's unsafe or because I don't want you to come, but because the kid, she said,
he's more comfortable.
Prefers it. He's more comfortable with it. He likes it more. And that's because his mom not there, other parents not there, other kids not there. He's in, I don't even know what the room is, bro. It's a small room, but you can hear it echoing. It's quiet. He has his iPad linked up. You know, I think he's 11 years old.
Locked in.
And he locks in.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You know what I mean? So
kids get shy, bro.
Yeah.
Some kids get gun shy. They, like all those different parents and other kids that may be better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a lot of, at that age too, 11, 12, you're a little awkward. You know, a lot of that plays into it just with like mental. And that allows him to get away from all that, and he can just focus on trying to get better.
Yeah,
and
bro,
as he gets older, he may grow out of that. You know what I mean? But for right now, for his development, that may be what he needs.
Yo, what's cool is that like that part that I said was a little awkward in person, bro, at the end of like training on this and then saying, all right, bro, bring it in. And now we're just face to face talking how we are. It's such an easier transition to say, all right, man, listen, your mom said you was kind of, you know, missing your Zoom classes or missing, you know, you was missing school, or, hey, listen, bro, I noticed that on a couple of them, you show frustration, you gave up a little bit. You got to stick with it, blah, blah. But now it's like, they're not nervous because it's on the phone or on the laptop. So they're not nervous of you. Then they're also not nervous that people are around. I'm not, I'm 6'7". I'm not standing over the kid like, hey, man, listen, you know what I mean? It's like face to face with the same. So there's definitely like pluses to it, man. But I appreciate you guys' feedback on that. Now, I want to leave you guys with a question. If you were a kid, right? So I just turned you from a father to now you're a kid again. If you were a kid, was there any time ever that you would have preferred a virtual training experience, or was it not even on your mind like when we were younger?
I mean, that really wasn't on my mind because it was something we didn't do. But I hated conditioning days, though, bro. Like when we used to have to go in, and it's like, you know, it's a practice. Like you're not going to touch a basketball. You're just running, doing defensive slides and all that. Like I would have rather did that at home. But you know what I mean? But like outside of that, like nah. I mean, that just wasn't a thing, you know, for us as a kid.
Isn't that crazy, bro? Like we barely had text messaging. These kids are virtually like FaceTiming a coach, really training, bro. I gotta send you guys some of these videos, like really training hard. Like I look on the Zoom, there's like 50 squares on the screen. Mad kids like Just moving, bro, like jumping.
Yo, how do you not laugh at that? Like, not just, it's just funny, bro. You just sit there like, yo, these kids are really going in.
No, I do laugh. I'm just like, yo, good job, guys. Like, because it's funny stuff, man. But
I was playing the snake game on the old Nokia phone in 8th grade English class. Like,
yo, that game was legit, Tark. That was a game right there, bro.
Way back, snake days, bro. I remember texting, like you had to texting was like having a pager, because if you sent too many texts, it was like, 15 cents per text. Your mom's like, "What is this $17?"
Right, bro.
Kayla or whatever.
Man, if you were texting like, "Dad," you had 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the D. Wait a second, and you gotta hit the same number for the A. Wait a second. You're like, "Well, I just want to put a space. It's the same letter here."
Yo, nuts, man! How privileged these kids are. But listen, guys, no, seriously, I appreciate you guys' feedback. For anyone listening, if you're anywhere in the country and I guess you don't have to be 18 or younger. You can be whatever age, but you want to get some virtual training. Tarka's going to be there this Saturday. He's going to drop $3.50 and work with some ball handling. But yeah, I don't know when this is going to drop or what the day is, but pretty much every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have virtual training workouts at Above Maximum Basketball. And I think we're going to start putting together some coaches clinics. So parents, coaches, yeah,
I'm gonna get in on that, man.
Yeah, bro. Me and Tarka already planning stuff. Rob, he's inspired. He wants to start coaching some kids. So we do more than just podcasts, guys. We're like all stars in the basketball space. All right, but no, seriously, like, subscribe, share on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Art Morrison III. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Hoop Chatter Podcast. This is episode 29. When you hear us again, it'll be episode 30. We appreciate you guys for listening. Peace.